Hello students, in this session we are going to discuss about a general introduction to force. What is force? So we all know when we push a body, we are applying some force on that particular body. Even when we are pulling a body, we are also applying some force to that body, right? So we can write in general, the force is nothing but a push or pull. So we can write force is a push or pull, right? But this particular statement or this particular general statement does not define the force in total. Suppose I have placed a particular small block at this position and particular another block in this position. Now, will there be any force between these two blocks of material? No. But if I bring this block close to this and I apply the force, then I can apply the force on this particular block via this particular block, right? So now say I have put this block in close contact with this bigger block, right? Now what I am doing is I am pushing this block in this side. Now what will happen? These two blocks will together move along this direction. So the necessary things that we have to keep in mind for describing force as two bodies must be in contact with each other. So two bodies must interact with each other for force to act, right? So the basic definition, this will complete along with this definition that two bodies must interact with each other for force to act, right? So these two statements will now define the force. So one thing is the force is push or pull, and the second thing is at least two bodies must interact with each other for force to act. Now it is not always necessary that two bodies has to be in contact with each other, right? Suppose for example in case of the gravitational force, suppose if I just throw a ball up in the air, it will come back by the effect of gravitational force, but the earth and the ball are not in contact, but still there is a force that is acting between the ball and earth, right? So two bodies not necessarily has to be in contact with each other, but there must be proper interaction between two bodies for force to act. So this is the general definition or general description of force. Now we are going to discuss few effects of force. Now we are going to discuss about effects of force, right? Now what are the effects of force? Let's say suppose a particular block is moving along this direction. Now you are applying the force along opposite direction. What will happen? You are just making the motion of the body to its rest position, right? Similarly, if the block is at rest and you are applying the force along any direction, what will happen? It will start to move. So what we can say that force can change the state of rest or motion. So the first effect is it can change state of rest or motion, right? Now what are the other effects that we can think? Suppose a block is moving or a cycle is moving in a particular velocity, Now you are applying the force along the direction of the motion in which the body or the block is moving. What will happen? Its velocity will increase. So we can speed up by applying force, speed up any particular moving body by applying the force in the direction of the motion. Again, if you apply the force in the opposite to the direction of the motion, what will happen? Gradually its speed will comes down. So what we can do? So what we can say? We can say that force has its effect on increasing the velocity of the body. It can also decrease the velocity of the body. So the second effect of force is it can change the velocity of body. Now let's discuss the third effect of force. Suppose in a cricket match a particular bowler is delivering a straight ball, right, and the batsman has made a square cut. Now see, the ball was initially coming towards the batsman, but the batsman has made the ball to move in some other direction. What he has done? He has also applied some force with bat on the ball, and what he had achieved? He has achieved to change the direction of the ball. So if suppose a body is coming along this direction and you are applying the force and perpendicular to it, what you can do? The body will change its direction of motion. So we can say, thirdly, it can change direction of motion. It can change direction of motion, right? Now there are more effects of the force. Suppose, just imagine you took a particular sponge, right? You dip it in water. Now you are just squeezing the particular sponge. What is happening? You are applying force. And what are the result? What is the effect that you can observe? It will cause the change in the shape of the body. So you can come up with a different example in which force can change the shape and size of the body. So we can write, fourthly, it can change shape or size of a body, right? So these are the different effects of the force, and you can come up with many examples for each of these effects. So students, in this session we have discussed about the general introduction to force, how can we define force and what are its effects.